Hello friends, welcome to the video lessons on electronic measuring instruments. In today's class, I'm going to explain about a digital frequency meter. We will study about digital frequency meter. What is a digital frequency meter? What is its principle of operation and what is the working of digital frequency meter? How it will be used for measuring the unknown frequencies. The principle of operation of a digital frequency meter is quite simple. Basically, what is frequency? Frequency of a signal or of a waveform is nothing but the number of cycles of the signal or the waveform per 1 second. Number of cycles per 1 second is called as the frequency. So based on this definition, a simple arrangement will give the frequency of the unknown signal directly. Here, an AND gate is used to which one of the input is a gating pulse having a duration of 1 second. That is, the pulse will remain high for a duration of 1 second, and during that period only, that is, during the period for which the pulse signal is high, the unknown frequency signal is allowed to pass through the gate, and the output of the gate is connected to a counter, a digital counter. Now what happens here? During the 1 second period of the gating pulse, when it is high, the signal will flow through the gate, and the number of cycles of the signal are counted by a digital counter. Counted by a digital counter. Now, for example, if the digital counter output is say 1000, that means in 1 second duration, the input signal has completed 1000 cycles. What does it mean? The frequency of the input signal is 1000 cycles per second. That means the frequency is 1 kilohertz. Quite simple. Similarly, if it is say some hundred thousand thousands, in that case we say that the frequency is 1 megahertz. Or if the pulse count is 100, we say that it is 100 hertz. So like that, depending upon the pulse width of the gating signal, depending upon the pulse width of the gating signal, we can conveniently calculate the frequency from the display of the counter. Counter will provide the number of pulses that are counted by the counter in a duration equal to the gating pulse. If the gating pulse is 1 second, then we can say that the counter has counted so many number of pulses in a duration of 1 second time. That directly gives the frequency. If it is 10 seconds, then the counter has counted the number of pulses in 10 seconds duration. Then what would be the frequency? Frequency would be If n, suppose let n be the number of pulses counted, capital N, and t be the small t be the gating pulse width. If the gating pulse width is 1, then obviously number of cycles divided by gating pulse width 1 gives the frequency. Suppose if the gating pulse width is 10 seconds, then in 10 seconds the counter has counted n number of pulses. So in 1 second, naturally it would be n by 10. So the frequency of the signal, unknown frequency of the signal, is simply n by t. Similarly, if the pulse width, if the gating pulse duration is 1 millisecond, in that case, in 1 millisecond, 100 pulses or n number of pulses. So n number of pulses in 1 millisecond. So in 1 second, n by 1000. That would be the frequency. The principle of operation. The input signal waveform is converted to trigger pulses and applied continuously to an AND gate as shown in figure. This is the figure. Basically, the input signal, whether it is sinusoidal signal or any other signal, first it will be converted into a train of pulses by using a Smith trigger. And then the train of pulses are applied to a differentiator to get spikes like this. Spikes means only uh, a, a pulse with a very small duration, a signal with a very small duration. So the input signal is converted into a train of pulses using a Smith trigger, and using a differentiator it is converted into spikes, and then that signal, that is the signal in the form of spikes, is given as input signal to the gate. And the second input to the gate is the gating pulse. A pulse of 1 second is applied to the other terminal, and the number of pulses counted during this period indicates the frequency of the signal. So many number of cycles in 1 second duration gives the frequency, or so many number of pulses in a duration of small t, then n by t gives the frequency of the signal. The signal whose frequency is to be measured is converted into a train of pulses, one pulse for each cycle of the signal. The number of pulses occurring in a definite interval of time is then counted by an electronic counter. In a definite interval of time, that is the gating pulse duration, and those pulses are counted by an electronic counter. Electronic counter will count the number of pulses during that gating period, time period very accurately, and it will provide so many number of pulses. It will provide the count of the pulses that are reached to the counter. Each pulse represents the cycle of unknown signal, and the count is a direct indication of the frequency of the signal. Electronic counters have high speed of operation, and high frequency signals can be measured. Electronic counters is a different topic altogether, and it is uh, uh, in-depth analysis is there in the separate topic, electronic counters. But what we have to remember here is electronic counters, they have very high speed of operation. That is, Even if the pulses are coming to the electronic counter at a duration of 1 microsecond or even less than 1 microsecond, then the electronic counter responds to those pulses and those for small durations, and it will produce the count. High frequency signals also can be measured with better accuracy using electronic counters. Here is the basic block diagram of a digital frequency meter. Applied input signal is first amplified. Why? Amplification is necessary in order to produce a spike of substantial magnitude that can be, I mean, identified or discovered by the counter. Counter, it requires minimum magnitude of the pulse or minimum magnitude of the spike to recognize it as a pulse. So, low magnitude input signals first need amplification, which is done by the input amplifier. Then, those that amplified signal is applied to Smith trigger. In Smith trigger, what happens? Using upper threshold potential, lower threshold potential, a concept is there. So, using that concept, the any other form of input signal is converted into a train of pulses. Is converted into a train of pulses. Then those pulses, actually here it is not shown in the diagram, but a differentiator also is required to convert those pulses into sharp spikes, and then those spikes are given to the start or stop gate. Now, what is the second input to the start stop gate? The second input is given from an oscillator. And output of the oscillator, say 1 megahertz frequency, is converted into appropriate frequency by using a decade divider. 1 megahertz signal can be transmitted as it is. In that case, the gating pulse width would be 1 microsecond. Suppose if 1 megahertz signal is divided by 10, then in that case, instead of 1 microsecond, the pulse duration would be 10 microseconds. If the signal is divided by 100 in the decade divider, the pulse width would be 100 microseconds. If the signal is divided by 10 power 3, then the pulse width would be 1000 microseconds or 1 millisecond. So like that, signals are gating signals with different time durations can be applied to the start stop gate. For the sake of convenience, let us assume that if 1 second or 1 hertz input signal is applied at the input of the start stop gate, then for 1 second duration, the output of the Smith trigger reaches the counter, and the counter starts counting the number of pulses during the period for which the gating pulse is high. Gating pulse is high for 1 second duration. So obviously counter counts the number of pulses for 1 second duration, and it produces a count, or it gives a count, visual display of the count or numerical display of the count. That count is direct indicative of the frequency. If the gating pulse duration is 1 second, because the number of cycles per 1 second is the frequency. Then the counter output is given to memory for storing the data, and it is given to decoder. It is given to decoder. Here counter output will be in the form of binary data. So through memory device, the data is given to decoder. So here decoders, depending upon the requirement, if the binary data is given, then we use binary to 7-segment decoder. If BCD data is given, then we use BCD to 7-segment decoder. If hexadecimal data, that is, if the counter output is of 16 digits, then we give hexadecimal to 7-segment display decoder. So depending upon the application, we have to design the decoder here. It would be built by the manufacturer anyhow. And the output of that is nothing but the 7-segment display excitation. That is, the output of the decoder will be having a stream of 7-digit data. A, B, C, D, E, F, G for one digit, A, B, C, D, E, F, G for another digit, A, B, C, D, E, F, G for another digit, like that, depending upon the number of active 7-segment displays here. A stream of 7-segment display data is provided by the decoder, and the display directly indicates the values depending upon the status of the decoder output. It gives the numeric display of the frequency of applied input signal. So what is the process? Input signal is amplified first, then it is converted into a train of pulses using Schmitt trigger, and the output of Schmitt trigger, that is train of pulses, is given to a start stop gate, and to this start stop gate there is another input which is derived from a high frequency oscillator using decade divider circuit. According to the requirement, we can choose any frequency between 1 second to 1 microsecond. Then during that on period of the gating pulse, counter counts the number of pulses. It would be in the form of binary data. Through memory, the data is transferred to decoder circuit, which produces 7-segment display data, and depending upon that data, appropriate LEDs in the 7-segment display unit get activated, indicating the numeric display of the frequency of applied input signal. Is that clear? We'll see the same circuit in a different arrangement. Input signal is applied to amplifier, to a Schmitt trigger, followed by a differentiator to produce spikes instead of pulses. Here it has been shown as spikes. Then 1 megahertz crystal oscillator is taken. The crystal oscillator produces sinusoidal signal. So using a Schmitt trigger, it is converted into train of pulses. Then that train of pulses, as such, it produces 1 microsecond gating time. That is, for one cycle, it will remain high for 1 microsecond. When it is divided by a divided by 10 counter, then the gating pulse duration would be increased by 10 times. So 10 microseconds at the output of first stage, first decade counter. At the output of second decade counter, it would be 100 microseconds. What is that 100 microseconds? Gating pulse duration. At the output of third decade counter, it would be 1 milliseconds gating duration. Fourth decade counter, 10 milliseconds, fifth decade counter 100 milliseconds, and sixth decade counter is 1 second. And here we have got a range selector switch or time-based selector switch. We can select 1 microsecond gating pulse, in which case the counter output has to be multiplied by a factor of 10 power 6. If 1 millisecond is taken, the counter output has to be multiplied by a factor of 10 power 3. If 1 second gating pulse is taken, the counter output itself is direct indicative of the unknown frequency. So that is how the frequency of the unknown signal is measured accurately using a digital frequency meter. Working of the digital frequency meter. Already I have explained, but still let me read it out once again for you for second time. The input signal is amplified and converted to square wave by using a Smith trigger circuit. The square wave is differentiated and clipped to produce a train of pulses, each pulse separated by the period of the input signal. The gate control flip-flop provides an enable signal to the AND gate. The trigger pulses of the input signals are allowed to pass through the gate for a specified time period, and for that period only the pulses are counted by the counter. The decimal counter will produce a binary data, and through memory devices it is given to a decoder unit. From decoder unit it will be given to display unit, and the display unit output corresponds to the number of input pulses. The frequency of the input signal is computed as I told already, f is equal to n is the number of pulses counted by the counter divided by t. T is the gating pulse width. Frequency of the input signal, number of pulses counted, duration of gating pulses. In some applications, it is desirable to measure the time period of the signal. In that case, the time period is computed as n by frequency. N by frequency. If it is frequency, n by time period. Now just change this t to the left hand side, bring this t to the left hand side, and frequency to the right hand side. So the time period is n by frequency, where f is the clock frequency, n is the number of pulses counted, t is the time period of input signal. T is the time period of input signal, n is the number of pulses counted, and f is the clock frequency. Here we know that time period is 1 by frequency. So obviously 1 by f, t is equal to 1 by f is equal to t by n. T by n. Actually, t by n, it has to be in the denominator. One by nf. 1 by nf. This is how we measure the time period of the unknown signal. Just inverting this. When you invert this, it is T by N. Instead of writing T, it can be written as 1 by F. What is 1 by F? It is the gating pulse frequency. Where is, what is this F? This F is the frequency of the unknown signal, right? Time period of the input signal, number of pulses counted, clock frequency. So that is all about the digital frequency meter. So what is a digital frequency meter? What is the principle of operation, and what is the basic block diagram? What are the various parts in the block diagram? What are their functions? And how frequency is measured using the frequency meter. That is the working of the frequency meter. So this is all about digital frequency meter. Next, we will see the specifications of digital frequency meter within a small time. Please stay connected.